Hello and welcome to Nerdio Manager for WVD Demo of the Day. And in today's video, we are going to look at the new support for Generation 2 virtual machines in the Nerdio Manager for WVD. So for those of you who are familiar with the various VM generations in Azure, there is a Generation 1, which is the most commonly used VM type today. And there is now also Generation 2 that has some additional features and functionalities and are available for certain VM sizes, not all sizes, and is available with certain images from the Azure Marketplace and the gallery. Now, the difference between a Generation 2 and a Generation 1 is that a Generation 2 image cannot be booted as a Generation 1 VM because of some of the differences in the BIOS and the boot infrastructure of that operating system disk. And Nerdio now supports the ability to create images using the Generation 2 architecture. And then once an image is created with that architecture, any created host pools and session hosts from that image will automatically use the Generation 2 architecture. So let's take a look at how that looks. So if you select to add a desktop image in the Nerdio Manager from an existing Azure VM by clicking on the Add from Azure VM button, you will see that there is now a checkbox that allows you to create the image VM as Generation 2 rather than Generation 1. Now, the reason you would want to do that is if the VM that you're importing from, right, specifying the SAS URL of that VM, if that VM has been created as a Gen 2 VM, you're going to want to check this box, which again will tell Nerdio that this is a Gen 2 VM that should be created. If this VM was not created as a Gen 2 VM, which is the most common scenario, that they're created as Gen 1, then be sure to not check this box and create your image as normal. So that's how you would make that selection when adding a desktop image from an existing virtual machine. If you are creating a desktop image from the Azure Library, if you look at your Marketplace image listing, you will see that some images are listed with a Gen 2 in the description. And again, that will designate and tell Nerdio Manager that this is a Generation 2 image that's being used, and therefore Generation 2 VM should be created to manage this image. Once you make the selection and create your image, then throughout the product, when you deploy from that image, the software will automatically select a Gen 2 architecture if the image was created based on the Gen 2 architecture source. So that is Generation 2 VM support in Nerdio Manager for WVD. I look forward to seeing you in the future videos.